Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to All Things Division 3 Soccer with Simple Coach and Jackie. I am Simple Coach. Does she really need an introduction? She's out. That's what happens with old dogs. So I decided to do two episodes a week on the game or games of the week. So I'm going to do one for the weekday games, and then I'm going to do an episode that'll probably come out usually maybe on Fridays, I hope. Friday for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday games. It seems like a good break, and it's, I didn't want to get too, make a show and then throw out 50 games at you over the course of a week, and I just figured it would be easy. So welcome to today's episode of Game or Games of the Week, the midweek edition. I hope you enjoy. There's a lot of interesting matchups, both on the men's and women's side. This upcoming week, the week of September 11th, Patriots Day, and these games will range from Monday to Thursday. So I got a bunch I'll talk through, and we'll get to it. But all right, so as I always do, because my mom taught me ladies first, so let's go with let's start with some of the women's games. On Monday afternoon, you have Simpson visiting Milwaukee School of Engineering, MSOE. Both teams are undefeatable, 3-0, although MSOE is at 3-0-2. And I think both teams will bring it. I do think Simpson going to MSOE does give the advantage to them. So on Tuesday, a big clash. Stop your grinning and hold your linen, right? Wesleyan visits Tufts, both at 2-0. And if you believe the rankings, strength of schedule, Tufts is 7th and Wesleyan is 13th. So I do think that's going to be another banger. Down in Virginia, moving to another Tuesday game, you have Virginia Wesleyan at Christopher Newport. That's Christopher Newport 4-0, national champions a couple years ago, and Virginia Wesleyan 46th in the country, 2-1 record. So I think that'll be an interesting matchup between the two, since they always, in the past couple of years, they've definitely, battled it out, and is a pretty intense rivalry from what I can tell. If you head out to the West Coast on Tuesday, the Banana Slugs of UC Santa Cruz are playing Puget Sound. Another top 50 matchup. Santa Cruz is 1-1-1, and Puget Sound at 1-2. Another. This time now in Minnesota. That was terrible. But Carleton is hosting Gustavus Adolphus, which I think is going to be again. I just think the proximity and the rivalry will definitely play a part. Gustavus is 2-1, and Carleton is 3-1. And then on Wednesday, if you might see a particular person in the stands for this one, because it looks like a game that could very well be worth it. And I definitely think if this were on a weekend, it would definitely make the games of the week. So I would, if you get a chance to check out Johns Hopkins visiting College of New Jersey. Both teams are 3-1. College of New Jersey looks a lot better. I'll just say a little bit more organized than they were last year. And so and Johns Hopkins defending national champions, which I'm still I'm not sure about, right? It doesn't look like they have the firepower that they did last year. In fact, on my notes that I have that I was going to mention, if you're looking for firepower and strong defense, take a look at University of Hartford, the new Division III program. I mean, they're running the slate so far, and they're tough team. So I'd like to see them play some more competitive matchups. But having said that, they're on my radar. Another good matchup, Messiah. Obviously, their semifinal run visits McDaniel. Messiah is 4-0, and McDaniel is 2-1-1. North Central at Calvin. This is again another top 50 matchup. North Central at 4-1, Calvin at 3-0-1. I've watched a little bit of Calvin, but I haven't seen North Central, so that was part of the rationale for this. I always like these PA New Jersey battles, so another Wednesday clash. Swarthmore is going to Rowan, and that is, I mean, they're both 3-0, undefeatable. So I'm sure that'll be I have to believe that there will be a winner out of this one. Actually, I could totally see Rowan making a statement and taking this one. What's to say about this one? So Ithaca goes to Cortland State. For those of you who don't know, Ithaca is a stone's throw away from Cortland. And a very passionate rivalry in all sports. I watched Cortland State, the ladies team, play Bridgeport. I can't remember who yesterday, and it was 4-0 with little under a half, and I decided to pull the plug. They look rather strong. So I'm thinking that they might take it to their cross mountain rivals of Ithaca tomorrow. So a Midwestern tilt on Wednesday is Illinois Wesleyan at Hope. Illinois Wesleyan 1-2 and Hope at 1-0-2. And I think if Hope has the capacity to beat Illinois Wesleyan. It's just a matter of the game I watched. Maybe I think it was their win. I didn't think they were hitting on cylinders in their transition, but yeah. But I do think they'll take care of business here. The Pope's Cup. I don't know if this is considered part of it. Oh no, but this is Marymount. Marymount versus Catholic at Catholic. I think it is the Pope's Cup. So this will be a good matchup. I do think Catholic wins it. Catholic is looking pretty good and playing better than they were last year. They're 2-1-1, and Marymount is 0-3-1. And then just because I think this will be a really competitive match, Rivier visits the Maine Maritime on Thursday. So if you're looking for a Thursday match and you're looking to look at, again, get away from the top 20s, which some of my exercise is always about, hey, how do I get out and branch out and watch other games? That would definitely be do it. But If I had to pick, Monday, obviously the only one that I think, Simpson at MSOE. On Tuesday, I'm going to have to go with Wesleyan at Tufts. On Wednesday, I'm going with Hopkins at College of New Jersey. And then on Thursday, Rivier at Maine Maritime. So, all right, let's move on to the men. All right, so let's do the men here. All right, so on Monday, I'm gonna go. I'm thinking of watching the Ruse of SUNY Delhi. I think that's the way you say it. Travels to Summit. Delhi is at 2-0-1, and Summit is at 1-1-1. But I think Delhi is sort of feeling pretty high on itself these days, and so that I think that emotion's going to carry it through, and they're going to take the win at Summit. That's on Monday. On Tuesday, this is a real banger. Chicago visits North Park, and I think that Chicago is 3-0. Is 2-0-1. Tied Gustavus, and North Park is 3-0. And I'll say this: I watched a couple of I watched Chicago play a couple of their games, and I don't think they're as dominant as they were last year, or at least smooth as they were last year. Last year, I just thought that everything was hit, everything was working. Everybody was on the same page. I don't get that sense this year, and I think they're vulnerable. And I think North Park is just the team to do that. Tuesday also, NESCAC, Williams at Hamilton. I'm not a gossip guy, but I hear Williams has been having some issues. So I wouldn't be surprised if Hamilton at 0-2 sneaks something by Williams, who sits at 2-0 right now. The Battle of Rochester. Rochester Technology takes on the University of Paywall at the University of Paywall. So you're not going to be able to check that. By the way, totally random on anti-social media. I mean, that one. I'm a nice guy. Like this, I'm going to put this open invitation out to University of Paywall, both men's and women's team. You are more. I would love to have you on to talk soccer. I won't even ask you about the payroll thing because I am sure paywall thing because I'm sure that is not a you thing. But it bums me that I can't watch you. All right, so Rochester Institute of Technology takes on Rochester University of Paywall. Messiah goes to Dickinson. I will say I think Messiah looks as dominant with the ball as they did last year. I think it's a little tougher for them. I don't know why, but they're not as. They are very close to knocking on the door, and they spend too much time trying to get there. Although once they do score, more goals happen. But I do think it's a little bit tougher for them to get that opening goal. So, and I know there's some new players and whatnot, and Lent Coop, flying the coop. So who knows what's going on? But I do think if I were, again, and I will, my top 25 or whatever, I think they are kind of in a category of their own. And last year that category of their own was shared with Chicago. I'm not sure Chicago is part of that group anymore. So also on Wednesday, the Battle of the Lake. Boy, I'm into battles. I don't know why. The Erie Cup, the Lake Erie Cup. Case Western travels down the road to John Carroll, who I think John Carroll. First of all, both teams are 4-0, both outstanding coaches. Although why Coach Poe, hasn't been on the channel yet, don't know. Both great squads, both play really, really good soccer. I think John Carroll, if there is a year, yep, they could do it. I think they look that good. They look tough. Like they look tough on both sides of the ball. I don't know if this will be the proverbial Sports Illustrated cover curse, but simple coach shout out curse. I don't know. Men's again, kind of like the women on Wednesday. Wesleyan at Tufts. This would be a great game. Both 1-0-1. It's a top 50 matchup. So you definitely got to keep a look at it. Gustavus at Carleton, also top 50 matchup. Gustavus at 2-0-2. They tied Chicago, which is no small feat, and Carleton at 4-0. I love this matchup right here on Wednesday, which I would love to go to, but that can be far for me. Cortland State travels to Rowan. And so Cortland State 3-1 off of a really good win against Catholic, the regional powerhouse, Catholic University. And Rowan is 1-0-2. Okay. Next up on Wednesday, Ohio again. Ohio Northern at Ohio Wesleyan. Ohio Northern at 3-0-1. Ohio Wesleyan at 2-1-1. I think this is going to be a great matchup again. Jagger Brooker scored 3, had a hat trick this weekend. Forget against whom. I think that's going to be a really good one. Flying out to California because I'm trying to keep an eye out for games outside, and this is one that definitely I'm interested in. 2-1 Cal Lutheran goes to Claremont Mud Scripps, who is 2-0. And people forget Claremont Mud Scripps had their season canceled last year early on. So I'm very intrigued about this matchup and how they look and how excited are they to play. And next up, St. John's, the Johnnies of Minnesota at McAllister. That's a tight matchup. Watched a little bit of McAllister, but and I haven't seen St. John's, so really intrigued by that one. Also Wednesday, I think this could be a good matchup. 3-0-1, SUNY New Paltz, who I am very impressed by their soccer. Watched them a couple times and think they got some game against 2-1 Vassar, who, again, Coach Hood does an outstanding job with that program. So I'm really intrigued to see how that one turns up. Out to California again. These guys, hey, you got to give it to Caltech. I should have worn my Caltech hat, but Caltech, 3-0-1. I think I don't mean to load pressure on Caltech, but I think this is quite possibly the best start they've had in their history. So, yeah. Well, they go to Occidental, who is 3-1, who we know Occidental is good. And so I'm really, again, this is a good matchup for Caltech to just see where they're at, I think, right? Are they punching, at their weight, or are they punching above their weight? And this might be, we'll see if they can punch above their weight. So Wednesday also, last game, Western Connecticut at Ramapo. I wouldn't mind going to that one either. So I got multiple destinations that I probably have to be at the same time. So I'm working with scientists on cloning Simple Coach. Western Con had the trip up against Drew. I haven't watched Ramapo, and they're 0-1-2, but I'm a fan of Western Connecticut, and I'm a fan that they've sort of stepped up their schedule to sort of deal with why they weren't picked last year for the NCAAs, which I still think was robbery. And then on Thursday, again, just looking at teams outside of sort of the normals. On Thursday, Hunter goes to Mount St. Vincent, which I have been to Mount St. Vincent. I have not been to Hunter. There's a Fields of Dreams of Mount St. Vincent. Both 0-2, so I'll be tracking that game. And then lastly, I'll just say on this one, this ran long because I rambled, but I watched the Connecticut College Tufts game on Saturday. Connecticut College looks like really good, like the national championship team. All right, so that's it. Hopefully this was quick and easy. So to recap on the women's side, if I'm watching games, Simpson at MSOE on Monday. On Tuesday, Wesleyan at Tufts. On Wednesday, Hopkins at College of New Jersey. And on Thursday, Rivier at Maine Maritime. And then for the men, on Monday, SUNY Delhi at Summit. On Tuesday, I'm going with Chicago at North Park. On Wednesday, this is a good one. I actually think I would go with the Cortland Rowan game, just because I think it's going to be a little bit of smash mouth. And then on Thursday, the Hunter versus Mount St. Vincent. Hope you enjoyed this. Really do appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching. And I'll be back. Probably, like I said, the next one will be on Friday, Friday morning, where I'll just sort of run through the games that I'm seeing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And because there's no international break in Division III. So I will see you then, and if any comments, criticisms, thoughts on other games that I should be watching that I'm not, I'm fully recognize that I can't, figure these all out. But by all means, appreciate your recommendations. All right, Jackie says goodbye.